Okay, so let's remember the tripentatonic arpeggios are the chords, the major chords. Right, those are the chords you'd play. You know, like Happy Days Are Here Again. Okay, these old songs are just based on these techniques as they were legitimized, 100 years ago. Long time. Although my dad's 96, so it maybe wasn't that long ago. We look at the minors, it's just 3 6 root instead of 3 5 root, so it's okay. That's kind of like the minor version of Happy Days Are Here Again, right? That's kind of like not that happy of a song, right? Kind of like, intrigue. So minor gives us that quality. So we would just follow the string shapes for that in the C box. Now we're not going to 3 5 root. We're going 3 6 root, and then we have what looks to be root 3 6 here. Okay, what is that shape? Well, it's taking shape, but it's not there yet. Okay, so what are these shapes? I'll tell you what they are. In the root minor, the relative minor of the root key, and these are all going to be relative minors of the root key unless you do a substitution. It's going to be an A minor there in the key of C, so it's going to be A minor shape. Alright, so it's going to be 3 6 root, but this string's coming over to make that bona fide A minor. Remember, an A minor, a little A minor action fingers. It's the same kind of interval as the E major shape, but because this string is down tuned, same finger shape, but minor quality, because the B string is down tuned for you. Alright, so that's the chord shape taking shapes there with the minors. And then we just go over to the different shapes. For the D, if we're in the D cage, a D shaped C. Okay, for you this would be like up here, like way up here, like way up here, like this, or a D shaped C. But I have it down here. Alright, so it's the same thing. The minor would be the third of the D, 6 of the A, root of the E. Now this C is going to sit right on top of that brick wall. Although it has a skewed base, the C goes right back on top of that. So we'll go straight up for the C from the root there. Okay, we're going to go up over here for that C, because you can see how that 3 would actually sit there. 1 2 3 4 5. We're going to need a C on top of this to complete this little build here. Here we talk about brick walls and builds and things. So there's our C that sits on top of there. And of course, when we actually play it, these two are going to be warped over. So they're going to come over here for us. In the C box, we could do everything. That's one of the benefits about the tuning third, is it brings these over for us, and in the C box we can play the whole thing. So we've got 3 6 root, 3 6 root, and then 3. Okay, that's it. And you have a nice C shape right there, whatever it is. But that's what's happened when you play the relative minor. Okay, so let's play it safe. We have the half diminished here. We can skip this for now because it's not in line with the major focus of the last few lessons is not how to play the half diminished. It's just I listed here. If we get into it, it's going to seriously derail us. Okay, because I did mention though that we're going to be playing the relative minor of the minor. That's how we're going to coin the half diminished pentatonic. So here it is. Here's your half diminished pentatonics right there. Starting in the C box, starting from the D box, starting from the E box, starting from the G box, and then the long patterns, which is starting from the capo. Here's pentatonic half diminished, and here's the triads half diminished, just 4 7 2 4 7 2 4 7 2, starting from the fret nut. So where would that fret nut be? That fret nut would be right here. Okay. These long patterns are useful from the fret nut. So sorry, that one's crooked. Okay, so that's what's going on. And with the minor, same thing. The long pattern would be that the fret nut would be right there. And with the majors, the fret nut would be right here. Okay, so that's what the long patterns are useful for, is playing from the fret nut. So let's just pick one randomly. Here's a minor. If we're going to start, let's say, from the 6, we're not going to start from the C now. Okay, so let's start from the 6 here. So we're going to mask out the C. We're going to start from the G box here. Okay, here now we're going to do the long pattern. So here we go. Before we get to the long pattern, which is actually this is the star of the long pattern right here, the S3XL. Okay, it's a little thick. Before we get to that, we have to play up to it because you can kind of see it. You can't see it yet over here. Hang on. Okay, so looking right here, we've got our long pattern. Notice the long pattern has an S4L here. I'm going to make this a little thinner. This has our S4L right here. So here's our S3XL in the long pattern, and then on top of that goes 7362, the S4L, the S4E rather. So there's your E, 4 string shapes from the E. That's why string shapes are important to learn. That E is 7 root 2, so it's always going to stack up that way. And underneath the S3XL, we have an S4E again. So it's just S4E, S3XL, S4E, S3XL, or going off that way. And it takes us to the right, away from the fret nut. So if we're looking at that G right here, okay, so let's say we want to play that in G. So I'll put the capo on. Now we're going to play it in G, okay? So E becomes the 6. Okay, so 6, 7 root is the bass string shape, 2, 3, 4 of that G. So the A becomes the second of that G. And then we go 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3. Okay, we're going to warp up the 4, 5, 6. The C is the fourth of the 6 there. Now for the 7 root 2, we just finish up right there. So that's, and of course if we wanted to play the triads, it'd be 6 root 3, 6 root 3, 3 up here. Okay, and then we have to warp up for the 6 and to the root again. That's the long pattern.